Okay, I'm no longer enough. You guys need to start making YouTube videos too. Because I know some stuff about some things like Vim, but there are a lot of you that have really precious knowledge that I feel like you should spread because there's a big education problem in the world right now. It's kind of run by idiots, and we have to stop that. We have to start trickling down all the knowledge we know. People are like, and I'm talking about myself when I say people, we held on to knowledge too much to like try to get an advantage or something, or we're too shy to do YouTube channels or something like that, or we think there's some kind of social consequences, but there are no social consequences. No one cares. It's all straight upside. You may have a bunch of like different doubts, and you might think there's like XYZ reason why you shouldn't start a YouTube channel, and all of them are pretty much unfounded. It's pure upside. You get to teach, which if you know Feynman's trick for learning, it's like the best way to learn stuff is to teach it. So you're gonna learn a lot more yourself, even if no one watches it. That's in the worst case where no one watches it. And in the best case, a lot of people will watch it, and then you'll start making money to do what you love. So it's like, it's pure upside all the way through. Not only that, but you're gonna learn like a lot of skills pertaining to media editing and design, and there's tons and tons of stuff to learn. And how different microphones and stuff work. I'm just barely into that, but you can learn a whole lot. Also, literally everyone can do this now. All you need is your phone. I don't have a phone with me, but you guys know what phones look like. And that's basically it. The phone's got good enough cameras and mics. You don't have to invest in anything else, honestly. I'll show you the setup I've got going. I have a mic, but you don't really need one. This is a Blue Yeti. You can see my audio dampening equipment is egg cartons. The reason that works is because like in physics, I think it breaks up the standing waves that bounce between surfaces, so it reduces the echo. No need to buy like fancy foam. You can get those things literally for free. Go to like a local bakery or just eat eggs. And that's what I did. I ate eggs, but I do know a local bakery. It's good to know that too. And yeah, you might be worried about like your physical appearance or your voice. Really do not worry about it. Unless you're like physically like deformed, you don't look nearly as bad as you think you look. There's this whole like fucked up perception of what people look like because we have access to looking at all these Hollywood actors and everything all the time. And most people are like within the range of acceptable looking, honestly, including like just everyone is pretty attractive if they're healthy. I really don't think that's something you should worry about. And also, if you've got an accent, if you're a European, I know a lot of Europeans who follow me, or just people from different parts of the world are like, oh, but I don't have your accent. Dude, we actually don't care at all. In fact, I love to hear other people's accents. Like, I kind of like it more than an American accent. I don't know why. It's like, you're going above and beyond to learn our language to teach us stuff. So don't worry about it at all. We actually think it's kind of charming. It's like, at least I do. It's like, it's just really nice to hear someone else like speaking your language with an accent. Like, we love all you German guys and Italian guys, and all the different accents you have is like, they're just nice to hear. So yeah, I can go into the equipment I use as well. But honestly, the phone is the absolute workhorse. It's like the phone and computer do the most work by far, and then there's some free software that does it, but it would not be possible without my phone. I don't use a camera because it's expensive and complicated. I sometimes use a mic if I'm at my desk, but it's honestly not necessary because the phone's mics are really, really good now. That's all you need. And yeah, then sometimes I'll have to screen record my, Okay, in terms of recording software, for the longest time on my Mac, I just used the built-in like screen recording tools, which you can see like look like that down there. But now I'm using OBS, and the reason for that, you can call it major soyware. You could write your own FFmpeg wrappers and whatever. And actually, let me just make this full screen. You can see I can switch between different presets, and OBS is just like, if you don't want to use it, that's fine, but it's really useful for a lot of things, like just having multiple recording scenes, and you can like have hotkeys to switch between just showing like full screen and showing yourself. So it's just really convenient to record, honestly, and it lets you like properly choose and configure all the different mics and stuff you could possibly ever want. And You can see the way I'm doing this is an Apple only feature, unfortunately. I'm sure there's a Linux and open source alternative to this, but the way that I'm showing things, if I go, well, it's just me right now. If I switch to me plus screen, and then I turn this back towards myself so that you don't feel like I'm neglecting you, and the human element is gone. So if I go, I actually can't record OBS. It's like hidden from recording, so I'm gonna have to do it with my phone. So basically, sorry this is disorganized. There's a feature called continuity camera. So you see this video capture device on me. What happens is if I click on the video capture device, or right click and then go properties, you can see it says Sylvan's tiny little phone camera. And this is just wirelessly connecting to my iPhone camera. Like I could use my FaceTime camera right now too, and it would do that. Or I can switch to my wireless connected iPhone camera, and it's like streaming 4K video over Bluetooth. So as much as you hate the iPhone, like I personally, this is thinking big, think we need to like reestablish something like Bell Labs and like make an open source operating system that everyone can use that's like ARM based and as fast as Mac OS. But to be honest, Mac right now and iOS is still, I think they're still riding on Steve Jobs and Wozniak's and Johnny Ive's brilliance. Like they still have some pretty amazing features that are hard to rival. Okay, so how do you make a thumbnail? I'm gonna make the thumbnail for this video. I use Figma, but it's closed source and stuff, and it just IPO'd, so they might be evil soon. So you could use something else like, I think PenPlot is a free alternative. But what you wanna do for thumbnails is make what's called a frame, and the reason you want a frame, which you can get with F, is it cuts off stuff outside of it. So if we have like a rectangle, you can see it like cuts it off. And you can export frames, so if I go click export, you can see it'll export as a PNG, and I'm doing 1280 by 720. This is like the exact resolution you need a YouTube thumbnail to be. So I'm going to, let's see, there's a bit of an art to this. I have a lot of like little PNGs and stuff I drag all over the place. These are some upcoming videos. And it's pretty easy. It's like drag and drop editing, honestly, but there's a little more to it. There's a couple other tricks you can do. So I'm gonna actually, because this video is about thumbnail editing, I'm gonna grab a screenshot of this and then open up, where did I think that goes to pictures. It's kind of hard to see from the previous, let's see. There we go. And then you can like drag and drop that back into Figma. And then I can put that in there. And that is honestly like kind of a good enough thumbnail, but I don't know, I want to go more advanced than that. So what I'm going to do, this application actually is pretty well suited to using a mouse, unfortunately. I haven't really figured out how to do it with the keyboard yet, but I have like a Glove 80, so I don't know, I'm figuring it out. So one thing we can do is crop this a little bit. So go in like that, and this is, Figma is just great for processing all kinds of images and all kind of image stuff. It's just like I can't live without Figma, honestly. It's a really great piece of software. And then let's grab a couple of other, let's see. If I want to grab an image, I'm gonna actually move my browser over to this so you can see it. DaVinci Resolve. So, oh, that was perfect. See, there's this icon. I think YIA uses the Vimium browser extension, and we'll copy that to clipboard. So now we can go back here, paste it in. Boom, we've got our DaVinci logo. And then let's see, I know I have a Figma logo here. It's really not organized. I just kind of hunt around for, there we go, there it is. Copy that, paste it in the same place. I can drag it over, scale it up. So those are the two things that I use. They're both free. I mean, I'm gonna make a second section talking about that, but what else can we do with this thumbnail? I guess add some text. 100% free. Like just clickbait type nonsense. I don't know, there's more of an art to making thumbnails, and there are people that are way better at it than me. I just kind of like hack away at whatever and try to get something working. Let's see if we can get this a little more cropped. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not the best at it. My videos don't completely blow up, but I'm not perfect yet. Maybe one of you, when you start your own channel, can be better at this and tell me how to do it. I think a lot of people problematically like have one thumbnail style they stick to over and over again, and I don't know. It doesn't tend to work. What you need to do is like try a bunch of different ones and then finally settle on like a style. Like if you look at all the best YouTubers, it took them some time to find their style. Let's go like this color scheme, like maybe like a dark maroon. I don't know what I'm thinking. Yellow, maroon, and then yeah, I don't know. I should be using like some color theory nonsense to like optimize how dopaminergic this is, but it's kind of like an art form. Yeah, I don't know. That looks somewhat interesting. That's not the worst thumbnail I've ever made. And then sometimes I just randomly try nonsense with geometric shapes, and it always makes people click on the video less. But I don't know. I eventually want to like condition you guys to click on like some crazy nonsense. Oh, actually, we can color grade this. So if you pick on an element like this and you grab this little guy, you can like pick some other color. So if we grab from there, that's like our nice maroon, like that. That's a little too dark, honestly, though. I kind of liked the lighter maroon. And yeah, here's another example of some geometric nonsense. Let's make another rectangle. And let's stretch that out and picker like that. And then, yeah, that is kind of interesting. I don't know. I don't hate that. Maybe like for contrast, let's like draw like a black band through there. Does that work? That work more or less? Less. Okay. Whatever. Not the best thumbnail ever, but doesn't have to be the best. I don't know. I'll optimize that another time. It's more about reaching the correct people right now than a ton of people. I always call it thumb for convention. That way, like when I export it, it replaces the older thumbnail, which is, I don't know. I'm terribly disorganized, but that's fine. So then what you can do is you go down here and you click export. You can choose any of these formats, but I do PNG. And then export, and I have it always saved at the same place, which is pictures, and then you can see it'll say replace, and that's really nice. So then if we go to pictures, you can see it exported, and it's like just the perfect size. And then if you actually go to YouTube Studio, so I'm starting up DaVinci Resolve. I've never tried to record this before, so this might be a nightmare. So you can see I have like a dashboard of things, and then I can create a new video. And I'm gonna have to actually move this to my other monitor. It's recording my streaming software, so I'll put that somewhere else. I'll move it to the other monitor so I can see again. And then let's go back to DaVinci. Okay, so you can do Control or Command I to import. DaVinci, it looks really intimidating. There's all these bells and whistles and stuff, but I kind of found like 5 or so settings and stuff that just work over and over again. And I'll give you the rundown that'll save you a ton of time. So there's a bunch of different tabs. This one's for importing media, useless, skip it. This one is also useless, skip it. Go straight to this one, and this is like for cropping and stuff. And if you're a video editor, you might think this is egregious, but this is how I've learned to do it. So then I'm gonna go to where my screen recording's saved, which through OBS, I think I have them saving to movies. Yeah, so you can see there's 4 different clips. So I'm gonna grab all 4 of those, and then I'm gonna click, oh, that's the one that's currently recording, I think. So I'm gonna open those up, and then I literally don't know if this does any difference, so I always just click whatever is closer to my mouse cursor because it takes less time. So that imported, and then let's see, this is the first one where I'm talking. So you can drag this onto the timeline, and then you can also attach other ones onto the timeline behind it. So like the next one in the series is, I don't know, like this one where I'm talking about Figma. And that's all well and good. I'll show you some other basics. So you can see this is the audio. You can drag that track up and down to like show the waveform. You can crop by moving this thing, and then you can either do, I think it's Command B, or I have like a special binding setup, which is on, it's like A on the home row for Colmac DH, because I'm just such an efficiency nerd. Then you can select things and you can just delete them, and then there's deleting and ripple deleting. I would go watch tutorials on that. It's pretty simple. I don't want to explain the full thing here, but it's like how you can just like make little cuts and stuff. So if I want to cut off the beginning of this, like I can just do a cut like that, and then I can press like delete, and then it doesn't delete it, but if I press shift delete, it like moves over the timeline. And it takes a little bit of time to get a handle on these things, but it's honestly not that bad if you know how to use Vim. So then we've got this. That's pretty good, but there's a couple other things you may want to be able to do. You can learn all these animations and keyframes and stuff. Doesn't take that much time, but I'm not going to go over it here because it's kind of a thing. So there's other tabs. This is for animations and keyframes. And then there is audio mastering, which I'm still horrible at, but here's the way I understand to do it best. So if you go to the delivery page, you can see there is like a customizable export. That's what this is. And what you do is go to audio, and then you go to audio normalization, and then normalize audio, and then you pick YouTube. And what this will do is it basically like flattens all your audio and the export to like be YouTube standard volume. But you don't just want to do that, you want to click optimize to standard, and optimize apparently just like does the normalization, but it's like a little bit better than normalizing. Like it does some other corrective things too. There's also this whole sound tab where you can like take your audio and then add like effects, and then there's like, let's see, there's like all this like EQ band filtering and modulation, and there's like restoration, and then like de-ess or de-hum or noise reduction. I tried all of those things many times, and I just got like kind of wooden, bad sounding audio, and I just got fed up, and I was like, I'm just gonna normalize the audio. It sounds good enough. Nobody really cares. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I've found. If you have tips for something better than that. So once we've got that, what I do is I click add to render queue, and then that'll pull up the save location. And I always call it timeline 1 because I never remember to save the project. So what happens is it's like, you can't render that. Oh, I actually can, I guess, because I didn't have something previously there. So yeah. All right. Once that finishes rendering, it's going to show up in DaVinci Resolve. See, it's rendering right now. So then what you do is you go to the YouTube Studio app. Man, my computer's lagging by recording and exporting at the same time, but okay, I had to stop recording because it got so laggy. But yeah, here's my channel dashboard. You can see the inside thing. So if you go create and then upload videos, and then select the file, this hopefully doesn't lag too much. So it exported out of DaVinci Resolve. This is like completely unedited, so it's just a draft I'm gonna delete. But it'll upload, and it's really nice. YouTube uploads incredibly quickly. And the next thing I do is I choose a title, which I'm not gonna type in a title, you can get that. And then there's the description. You can put hashtags and stuff, but the science is saying that it doesn't really matter what the hashtags are. What's more important is you put a little description right here, because like LLMs are using cosine similarity now in the algorithm to like embed information about what the video is relevant about. So I don't know, like say something like, oh, I made a video talking about blah 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 blah, just like a little thing that's like this long. You can throw other links in there as well, but it doesn't really matter. And then upload file for the thumbnail. It always exports to pictures for me, so remember this from earlier in the video when I edited everything together coherently. So you can do that, and then that's the thumbnail. And then you go through this next thing, monetization, and you choose on, and that exploits the normies who are too dumb to install ad blockers. So it's pretty necessary. It's just natural selection, honestly. They deserve it. And then video elements, you can add an end screen. I often forget to do this or I'm too lazy, but it's technically good for follow through. So you can just copy. Okay, that doesn't have an end screen. Maybe this will have one. Damn it. See, like I never... God damn it. So you can create your own end screen, which, let's just do one video, one subscribe, and then best for viewer. This is a whole UI you can figure out, but I wouldn't worry about optimizing it too much. I'd worry about making good content. And then go to visibility, and then you can see there's a few different stages of visibility. What you want to do is leave it at unlisted because it takes a while usually. So this approved monetization very quickly, but it can take like 20 minutes depending on the length of the video. So what I often do is I put it unlisted and then I schedule it to go public, and like you can just punch in any time and then it'll drop at a certain time. And then you can also make it private, so it's like completely undiscoverable. If you make it unlisted, but it's in a playlist, someone can still find it, so be careful of that. And then, yeah, I just want to delete this, so I'm going to go back. Is there a way to like cancel? It'll show in content and then like drafts. So yeah, delete forever. I understand. Yep. And then let's see, what else is there to know about this? You can figure this all out, and it's pretty fun once you get playing with it. You can see like the analytics of stuff. Like you can see, hopefully this doesn't get me demonetized. Oh no, I'll lose like 13 cents. Oh shit. Yeah, whatever. This video is still going insane. And they added all this dumb AI slop, but it's fine. You can see all your demographics. Yeah, thirst over this, advertisers. I'm fucking never taking a sponsored deal from you, you pieces of shit. You're never getting a sponsored deal. You can look at my demographics all the fuck you want. You can see, yeah, this just shows you a lot of cool stuff. I think one of the most useful is to see, like, analytics per individual video. It'll show you like a curve of like typical versus non-typical, and you can also see real-time views and like the different categories, so that's nice. Reach is nice, and engagement is also nice, so it looks like people watching to the 4 minute is above typical. No hypes. Oh man. And yeah, that's about it for that. I guess another kind of useful thing is if your video isn't doing well, you can change the title and the thumbnail to try to make it do better. It used to be you couldn't change the title, but I think they made it so you can now, because they just want people to consume more and more and more and more. Okay, so that's about all I have for this tutorial. I'm never gonna ask you really for like payment unless I'm literally like starving on the street, but what you can do if you make your own channel is like shout me out on it and I'll shout you on it, just so we can all grow our like network together. And if you know there are people IRL, just get talking to them, spread the message that authenticity is back in vogue on YouTube. And yeah, just get people watching your own channel and get people watching mine. Just tell people that we're done being like fake, performative, scamming the job market. We're actually here to learn and do work. And I've been reading a lot of like stuff about the founding fathers and how much they read and learned and understand. And from those standards, we're like so dumb. Like it used to be that audiences would go out and like listen to founding fathers debate or like Lincoln era guys debate for like 3 hours at a time, like not have any attention problems. And now we can like barely fit one page of the Neovim manual in our cortexes at a time. So I think it's time to reclaim the world in terms of like knowledge and intelligence. I think it's time to respread the message of like reading and understanding things if we want to actually push society into the future and not die to like consumerist slop and horrible poisonous food and toxins from all the corporations. That's what I'm trying to do. So if you agree with that message in any small part and you want to help me revive education and actual quality stuff, I think it's going to start here on YouTube, but let's try to just make it spread as much as possible, because you're a part of it too. It's not just me. And yeah, I'll catch you next time.